on, y'all. So I know I'm a little scrappy right now, but we can keep it pushing. I want to get y'all the raw meat. So we're doing Dwayne versus Lil Wayne now. This is the book we're doing. Not very long. I meant to have this out to y'all a little earlier, but life happens. And chapter 1. Be clear on the source. Be clear on the source. Know why you will be successful. As long as words exist, I'll be successful. This statement was made by Wayne while he was talking to his cameraman, Mr. Anthony. I tell y'all, if you've seen more of my book reviews, the last 2 books I've fully reviewed were from Mr. Anthony. Great man. And this book basically goes into detail about his trials and not tribulations, but his trials and things of him being Lil Wayne's cameraman, and Wayne called him Camera. And so we're gonna get into the book, the chapters, what he learned on the road with Wayne, and all this takes place between. Now, excuse me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it down the thing. But between I think it's the first quarter and quarter 2. So this is before Amelie and all them. This is freshly out of Hot Boys Wayne. So we get back into the chapter. So as long as words exist, I'll be successful. This statement was made by Wayne to Mr. Anthony, aka Camera. And the way made by Wayne and the way he raps. He can never run out of words, so there's no reason he shouldn't be successful. He can never run out of words, so there's no reason for him to not be successful in rap, because there's always something to be said. Now we can talk about his content now and blah blah blah, but that's not really what I'm getting into. So he said, as long as there's words, he should be successful. And that was just, I think I'm using this word right, antithesis of the way Wayne was coming from. Like, his success was the way he processed stuff was different, and that's really what I got into with this chapter. Chapter goes more into this by him putting pictures to words, such as when he asked Mr. Anthony Camera, when he asked him what a typhoon meant, because I can't remember where the typhoons were, but there's some bad typhoons that happened at this time, and he was asking Wayne what did he know about them, and Wayne didn't really care about the typhoons. He was like, what does typhoon mean? And so he asked him what it meant, and he learned what the word meant. And so and as far as putting pictures to words, the tour bus had stopped and water had fell over, and Wayne jokingly said typhoon, and he wasn't making light of the tragic things that happened. He was just putting pictures to the words. He was putting pictures to the words, so he knew what it meant. Like when kids, you tell them don't touch something because it's hot, but then they touch it and now they know it's not hot. He was putting experiences to the words. And he did this a couple more times to reinforce the meaning in his head. Taking notes are also important to get your thoughts in order. So, Camera, Mr. Anthony, Wayne had left his notebook sitting around, and Mr. Anthony took a look at it. He said the notes, and all of this is in the chapter. I'm gonna stay tuned after the credits, and I'm gonna put the chapter. I'm gonna put the page on the screen so you guys can read it. I don't know if I'm gonna do that every chapter, but this chapter is so short that I can put it at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that so you can get the whole thing, what I'm talking about. So Mr. Anthony took a look at it. He said the notes were very well organized, and that wasn't even about rap. It was just words and thoughts. It was kind of like a journal from what I read. It was kind of like a journal. But again, it wasn't even about rap. even though he's a rapper. So what I got from that is taking notes are very important. Taking notes are very important to success, even if it's not about what you needed to take about. Now, mind you, Wayne is a rapper. He wasn't some CEO or something. And I'm sure they take notes of everything. You know what I mean? So taking notes is very important. They don't have to be about the subject you're trying to master, but they have to be your ideas and organized. So basically, this chapter to me was about learning and not being ashamed to question things if you want to know, because you never know when they could come in handy. So the chapter also goes into, he asked about another word. He was asking, I can't remember the lady's name, but he asked what this lady's name was and what she did. And then he ended up using it in the rap to associate something else with something else and something else. If you've listened to Wayne, you know. And this is really, I'm talking about more his earlier work. I'm not really talking about it now because we all know he's kind of fell off now. But when he was on the top for 10 years. as y'all can see, Wayne is one of my favorite rappers of all time. So this is a really close subject to me. He was talking about, let me make sure I get this right. Just always be taking notes and always learning. Don't be ashamed to ask questions. Even if you think they may not be the smartest question in the world, never forget to ask questions. So that's the first chapter of this book. Be clear on your sources. Know why you would be successful. The 2 pages to the first chapter will be in the will be at the end after the outro. So stay tuned for that. Y'all be cool on this Wednesday. Be safe. Stay cool. And I'm out.